Good morning, beautiful soul. So I am in a hotel in San Diego, and for whatever reason, the internet here is super crappy. I've stayed in this hotel before and it's been fine. It wouldn't let me, when I first sent out the text message from the elders this morning, none of your messages went through. I got failed messages for all of them, and I had to one by one resend them. Some of them still haven't gone through while I'm recording this video. And I couldn't log on to create a live video on Facebook, either on my phone or on my computer. So I'm creating this separate video because I didn't want to miss this opportunity to share with you where we are today. You got that beautiful message that the elders brought through. And the key thing is that stood out in that, amongst many, is that you might feel like you're straddling two words. I got a call from one of the early goddesses who did the 2018 first goddess workshop, where there were 9 participants. And she hasn't been participating since 2023 in Mastermind. You guys know her, Virginia. And she reached out and she said, God, I feel like I'm straddling two worlds. I'm in this weird place and I don't know how to navigate it. She said the exact thing that the elders brought through in the message. You, all of us, are straddling between two vibrational frequencies, and we've never been here before. And the divide and the separation between what's possible and what's dismantling can be incredibly disconcerting. And we're going to be navigating that through the rest of the year. I'm going to be supporting you through the process of how to do that. The next most important thing is you're going to have to navigate coming face to face with fear of what's unfolding on the planet at a whole new level. That's going to be the focus of the next deep dive next Saturday. Some of you will be there, some of you won't. Those of you who won't, you're going to have to find a way to be ready to confront your fear as it wants to overtake you like a tsunami. We are going to have to choose. We've been hearing messages for the last year, choosing love over fear, right? Well, what does that mean? Well, we're going to have to figure that out. It's not going to be as difficult to figure it out. We've been given the guidance, but we can't think our way there. We have to align our way there. You've been hearing me say that for years now. We're at a place where we have to move beyond concepts and have an embodied reality of experiencing ourself as our I am presence. We're going to have to really give ourselves the permission to make our priority of letting that expand in us in an embodied way that becomes undeniable to support us to make the choices moment by moment by moment that the obstacles that are going to show up on our Mud Runner race are going to require. Now, don't worry, because we were told when we're in that alignment, we will surprise and amaze ourselves. We've been being told that for 3 years, remember? Remember last week I was talking about we're in this agitation energetic cycle, right? It's like all the clothes in the washing machine, the clothes represent us, the washing machine represents the infinite ocean of one source divine plan, circulating and agitating the residue of our wounded third dimensional personas that are imprinted by all the systems that are being dismantled. All the vibrational residue within our beingness was getting put into a high level wash cycle. And in that agitation cycle, what happens? All the dirt, by an act of grace, all the vibrational imprints still lingering us that cannot move into the higher frequencies were being dissipated. An act of grace didn't require anything of you. And as it gets dissipated, what happens in the washing machine? Soil in your clothes moves out into the water. And then the water's dirty and it gets drained. And then after it's drained, it goes into the spin cycle to pull all the rest of the dirty water out, right? And then what happens? The drum is refilled with water, re-agitated in the rinse cycle. All the rinse water goes out again, and then it returns to a spin cycle. That was all of last week. And then what? The drum comes to a stop, the water's gone, and there's space. Space for what? Space for clarity. Clarity coming from where? Your upgraded heart chakra, where all the accumulated wisdom of your drop in the infinite ocean of one source creator is coming online to send impulses of thought up into your mind to help you make clear, concise choices in the face of the fear that's going to bombard us as we move through the end of this year. Stay with me. Next Saturday, those of you that are attending the Deep Dive 2, we're going to spend 5 hours interacting with our current relationship with fear, because it's the fear which is the ultimate illusion that allows for the belief that everything is separate from source that's being dismantled. And the powers that be that have been able to commandeer the entire human species for century after century after century were able to do that because they knew that we were all tuned to a frequency of fear. They also know that we're no longer tuned to that frequency of fear. And as that dissipates, they're going to kick up last-ditch efforts to keep us all in this fever pitch insanity of fear, demonstrated by the ultimate belief of separation, which is us versus them in all its crazy forms. We're going to see escalation of wars in even more countries than we've been seeing, or threat of wars. We're going to see escalation of fever pitch insanity, not only between the Democrats and Republicans in America, but in the Republicans against Republicans and Democrats against Democrats. We're going to see more countries that are not even at war physically become agitated with each other thanks to Trump's dismantle service of bringing in tariff wars, right? A tariff war. Like, that's completely fabricated to escalate this us versus them with these reverberating effects to threaten our very survival in the belief of the external systems. It's coming to a fever pitch insanity level that's going to require us to be so in tune with this upgraded heart chakra, the intelligence that wants to send new thoughts of clarity up into our mind, but our mind is still attached to all the beliefs of our wounded persona and our ego. Our ego's not wrong and it's not bad. It was the protector of our wounded third dimensional persona. Our developed way of being in the frequency of fear, which is the ultimate illusion that we are separate from source and separate from each other. There is a battle going on now between the frequency match of our infinite soul wisdom and intelligence coming online, and the wiring and firing of our ego mind that still feels the threat of the external world and triggers us into this fight or flight response for survival, which is going to continue. And our next step in our spiritual evolution is being so in tune with this divine awareness that all the external dismantle, moving into a fever pitch insanity, is presenting us with the opportunity to become so aligned so we can emerge as the higher frequency version of ourself to surprise and amaze ourselves as we navigate these hurdles that the dismantle presents. When the caterpillar goes into the cocoon and gets wrapped super tight and liquefies itself, I forget what that word is called, but when it liquefies itself and literally reduces itself down to a puddle of mush, and then the DNA reformulates it into another being, it is not the caterpillar that emerges. It's not a caterpillar who grew wings. It is a completely new, metamorphosized creature. And that's what's happening, but it's a little more deceptive because it's happening from the inside out in the same physical presentation that we've always been. Our caterpillar presentation isn't shifting. Our intelligence and access to awareness and information on a whole new frequency that is absent of fear and absent of any knowledge that it is not source, and therefore absent of any human limitation, is coming online inside of us. Very deceiving, because our mind still wants to hold on to the protection of our wounded third dimensional persona, of our ego. But the intelligence of our soul is doing its best to override it so we can emerge tuned to the higher frequency. What that requires, you've heard me say it over and over, and I'm going to keep beating on this same drum because I'm not beating on a dead horse. I'm beating on another drum that's hitting the vibration of the higher frequencies, that's warning us and empowering us. There is nothing more important than prioritizing our stillness practice. Little chunks of time that can emerge and grow into bigger chunks of time, so we can let the mind go crazy and be as incessant as it wants to be, but we're going to be in our stillness, waiting and allowing the emergence of the alignment of this higher frequency, this accumulated soul wisdom within us, to have full reign. We must surrender. We must surrender into the flow of source that's driving this ascension process, and it will not come from the intellect. It will come from our stillness. The next level, that the clarity that we got from the agitation cycle last week, the clarity that's available to you now is preparing you to confront the fever pitch insanity presentation of fear at a whole level, another level humanity has never experienced. What that's going to look like yet, I don't know. But what I do know, it's going to present very soon. Probably snippets in May. And then after the energy, after the next quantum surge that hits planet Earth in her crystalline grid over the summer solstice, June 20th and 21, you're going to get another surge that's going to empower you in your stillness to turn the dial to the higher frequency, so you can surprise and amaze yourself as we navigate the obstacles that will be showing up in this year of transformation, 2025, on the second half of the year. I know I've said a lot, and I've got 1 minute left in our 15-minute call. I want you to go back now and reread the text message I sent you from the elders. I want you to read that every day this week, and I want you to promise yourself that you will prioritize no less than 5 minutes of sitting in your stillness, activating the gold light in your heart chakra. Doesn't matter what your mind is doing, just say, I'm going to sit in my stillness and say to my higher self, show me what you'll show me. Help me dismantle my attachment to my wounded third dimensional persona and support me support me in tapping into this undeniable courage that's available because of the absence of fear energy in me to navigate any presentation of fear that shows up in my personal life and on the world stage. You are a powerful being, but we can't access that version of us without being in our stillness. Make it your priority, okay? I love you tons. I hope you find this video helpful, and I look forward to seeing those of you that will be with me on the deep dive too. And if you're not going to be able to be there, make sure you're with me for 1 hour on the energy update, where I'm going to give you a bunch more information to follow up on this. All right. Make it a really beautiful week, loving on those around you, being gentle with yourself, using the power of the pause as these surges of fear want to take you out. Be loving and kind, and let your stillness bring you into a place of surrender to just flow in the current of ascension that's going to carry us over the obstacles. In your heart chakra, that energy of the ocean is absent of fear, doesn't exist there, and it only knows itself as source. And it's absent of human limitation. And you have the capacity to become that human version of you. All right, bye for now.